This is my third game in my top 32 run. It's against Blackbeard. It was my only Blackbeard game of the day. And I believe he's on the play here. So he's going to play stage. Teaches a stage right away. That's a pretty good start. Generally, my plan against Blackbeard was just to be as aggressive as I could. So obviously I don't love seeing him take a 2k, but life goes on. The plan is to be aggressive, and then, like a lot of the other games we played, to use the King Kong guns to finish things up. Here we're going to take advantage of being able to search, just go for it. I'm actually going to speed things up a tiny bit here, like 1.5 I think. Yep, and then we're also going to grab the Leo there. Then we're going to search with the Leo. Try to get things set up early while we still can. I know a lot of Blackbeards do sort of take away your ability to search later and use your Rebecca's and stuff. So knowing that, here I take the Rebecca, and I believe I just pitch it now. My opponent takes the first hit, which I thought was interesting. He gets rid of another stage here, so he definitely was never going to miss stage this game. And kind of, lucky that that would kind of get rid of itself. I grabbed a Burgess, and I was pretty happy here to just keep taking stuff. So, we're going to have a lot of cards in hand. Hopefully a good card to play here on curve. 5. This is where I was pretty surprised my opponent was taking the damage. He also notably didn't turn off my on-plays there, which makes sense, because on that turn 4, the only good one I really have is Zora, and he had no bodies to clear anyway. So I have Cavendish here. I'm hoping he doesn't have the finger pistol, but he actually trashes finger pistol here, instead of clearing the Cavendish. So that made me think he had a very different game plan from what I was expecting. And then what you'll see in this game is that the game plan he sort of landed on was sort of a Burgess rush of his own. For whatever reason, this game is a little bit laggy. But yeah, he has a Burgess of his own that he's gonna use here. Once I saw him get rid of this finger pistol, I was pretty worried that he just had another one in hand, and maybe had like 4 in hand. So I'm thinking here for a while, because I'm thinking of just countering out here so I can draw off Cavendish. And so I over counter, thinking I can draw. And he just plays the Burgess. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I have something to swing with now, so that's an upside. Yeah, he just asked, because I discarded 2 things, which was weird. It made sense in my mind to go down to 5 there, but definitely how this game is actually playing out, it wasn't. So again, on our 6th dawn turn now, he is not using his leader ability. So we've just kind of been in an interesting game state, I feel like. This game was pretty laggy overall. Luckily, it doesn't look like it's interfering with the ability to follow, but yeah, I remember when I was playing this game, I was definitely just a little confused, because there's I think there's 2... Oh no, there's 1 finger pistol now, but he does get rid of another one pretty quick here too, so He was just entirely ignoring what I was doing, which I thought was interesting. I'm just going to play another card out. Make that liberation worse that I saw earlier. I'm not sure if that's the one he discarded, but you know, in my brain I'm still on this like, oh, he's gonna like liberation me, he's gonna do finger pistol stuff. I'm fairly certain my opponent's whole plan, and he gets rid of the liberation there, so he did have another one. So, I mean, there's a chance if I'd played something else there, he'd have liberation two of my things, but I kind of set up a situation where he couldn't take that pivot, and maybe has to move into this like Burgess rush position that he sort of set up early on by not clearing the Cavendish when it first came out. And my big thing is I'm hoping I can protect this Cavendish, but I believe my opponent, yeah, he swings at life here. And so I end up taking it because I want to be able to protect the Cavendish if he does swing at it with Burgess. Because that Burgess is now a 7, but could be an 8 if leader ability is used. Yep, and there my opponent actually does use leader ability, and I think he does it. I don't remember if it was for this reason. I think he's still gonna swing at my life. He's choosing to still pressure life here. So he swings 8 at life. I think my issue is I just didn't have the 2/2Ks. I probably would have given them there if I had them. And then opponent's gonna Kuzan and bring back another Burgess. And yeah, notably, opponent with his leader ability here, he didn't use it until the Rebecca turn was possible, which I think is correct. So here I'm pretty sure I need to pressure. I can't 100% recall what my hand was like at this time, but I was fairly certain that at one life I was kind of screwed if he sort of like put his Dawn on in an expected way, right? So I'm trying to figure out what my game plan is. Notably, I thought it was interesting here. Swing. Draw and discard. I don't know if I have 15 cards in trash at the moment. Could. I might. Oh, I went for the Burgess. Okay. That makes sense. So, I was pretty scared there of just losing the game. So we swung into the Burgess just to clear it. I mean, there's a world where I could have gone for lethal, I guess, with a King Kong gun, but there's Rigby in the background making his debut, hanging out, jumping around. So I'm pretty happy here that I've cleared the Burgess, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, what is the rest of the turn then? I can swing the Sawbow just to pressure, but my worry doing that, and what I was thinking about is, you know, he might still make some defensive plays and swing into it, and then clear my board. But yeah, I just start getting aggressive here as well. And I believe the reason why is I have a King Kong gun in my hand. My opponent asks. Looked like it was about 10 cards. Because he's thinking the same thing. He doesn't want to go to 2, because if he goes to 2, I could start clearing stuff. Or I could do King Kong Gun and take 2 life pretty quick. I'm gonna play out the blocker here. If he had the liberation, I would not be super excited, but he would have to swing at my Sabo first, so. And then I have this blocker to sort of stop that. He asked what Sabo did here, so I was reading to let him know. You know, part of me was expecting the Idio to get removed, and then just 2 big swings at life. Just because of asking how the Saba worked, but I think the fact it would put another 2k in my hand, and also not remove it, obviously. Yeah. I think one of the hard things to tell is how much work this Sabo did this game. My opponent's, you know, he's getting rid of finger pistols, he's getting rid of all these removal things, but he was doing that before I played the Sabo as well. So I'm not sure how much it dissuaded his game plan or sort of was irrelevant. I think there was a turn where I could have played Cavendish instead of Sabo on that turn. He's keeping his hand high and also playing that Burgess from Trash that we killed earlier. And one other one from hand. So pretty much what he's saying here, right, is like, you have to kill me this turn or you're dead. I think for a second about it. And the main reason I'm thinking is because you know, I think I have blockers in my hand, and I'm wondering, like, if I set up, you know, 3 blockers this turn, does that help me? And I think what I came down to is those have the same thing where it's like, it could help, but it's unlikely. I could just liberation 2 things after swinging at a Sabo again and then go with my life, and it's just a whole ordeal. So we swing 7 and he takes it. He has no blockers, and I know I have at least 1 King Kong gun, but I think I do have 2 here. But I don't have that many attackers on board, so I was going to play this Rebecca. I didn't actually tap the Dawn for it, so I put it back in my hand. I remembered he had used the effect this turn. But I was trying to get more things in my graveyard, obviously. I think, like, it doesn't even need to get played here because I have a way, if I just play both of them, they both go to the grave still. I think. Or I just didn't need it. I don't remember. One of these things is true. I think it was like, oh, I can play both of them, and the second one I targeted would get the double strike. Something like that. I don't know. Or I just have it. Not sure. But I'm taking forever. Yeah, and like watching these games back, one of the other things I've realized is like, there are some turns I take a long time, and I'm kind of surprised my opponents aren't like, hey, you should hurry up. But this is like the very end of the game, and if I remember right, this was actually a pretty quick game, right? Like, I think we just hit 10 Dawn, and not really a lot of interactions happened. We're both just sort of swinging at each other. So King Kong here. I put on the little guy. Okay. Yeah, so I must have had enough in the grave here. He takes both, and then I use the other one to swing 11, and my opponent sits here for a second and just leaves.